The battlefield was quiet now, but the silence was heavy. Smoke drifted across broken buildings and scorched ground. The air smelled of burnt metal and alien dust. Everywhere, bodies of warriors, both human and alien, lay scattered. Some were dead. Others, badly hurt, struggled to move. In the center of the chaos lay Kale, a tall, strong alien warrior. His armor was cracked, his limbs weak. He could not move. He had been paralyzed in the fight, and his eyes, filled with pain, scanned the battlefield helplessly. Around him, his fellow alien soldiers moved quickly, grabbing their own wounded, ignoring him.
Fear and pride held them back.
They believed it was too dangerous to help someone so badly injured. Kale's breaths came fast, shallow. Each one was a struggle. He looked at his comrades, hoping for help, but none came. Some even avoided his gaze. Pride had taught them that survival was for the strong, and asking for help was shame. Kale understood this, yet he could not accept being left to die. Across the ruins, Lieutenant Alex Mercer moved carefully with his squad. He was a human soldier, tall and steady with calm, determined eyes. He had been trained to follow orders, but he also had a mind of his own. He knew a life was in danger, and he couldn't ignore it. He saw Kale lying on the ground, armor broken and weapons scattered. Some of his men whispered, "Don't bother. He's alien. Let them handle it." But Alex shook his head. "No, that's a soldier in need," he said firmly. "We help anyone we can." Alex approached the fallen alien slowly, keeping his hands visible so Kale would not panic. He studied Kale's injuries. The alien's legs were completely immobile. One arm twitched, the other was bent unnaturally. If he moved too quickly, he could worsen the damage. Kale's eyes widened when he saw Alex. He had expected no one to come. Fear and relief battled in his gaze. "Human?" he croaked, his voice weak but filled with suspicion. Why help me?" Alex knelt carefully beside him. "Because it's the right thing," he said simply. "Everyone deserves a chance. You fought bravely. I won't let you die here." Kale blinked. He had heard these words before from no one. Aliens rarely showed mercy unless forced. Humans were different. He studied Alex's face. There was no fear, no hesitation, only resolve. Somehow this small, fragile-looking creature was braver than most warriors he had ever seen. The ground around them shook suddenly as a small explosion rocked the battlefield. Debris fell, forcing Alex to shield Kale. Dust covered them, but Alex remained calm. "We need to move," he said. "I'll get you to safety." Kyle tried to lift his head but winced. I cannot walk," he said. His voice trembled with both pain and pride. "Leave me survive." "Live," Alex shook his head. "I don't leave anyone behind. Not on my watch." He quickly scanned the area for materials. He found a large piece of metal debris, some fabric strips, and a broken alien weapon. With careful hands, he fashioned a stretcher strong enough to hold Kale. Kale watched, amazed. He had fought in dozens of battles, seen countless alien inventions, but never had he imagined this. A human improvising so quickly, so cleverly, under fire. You are different," Kyle said, his voice quiet. Alex smiled faintly. "Humans can be clever when it matters. Hold still." With great care, Alex and two of his squad lifted Kale onto the makeshift stretcher. Kale flinched slightly, but Alex spoke softly. "I've got you, easy, just breathe." They began moving slowly across the battlefield. Every few steps, Alex scanned the area for danger. Alien patrols and rogue drones lurked, ready to attack. But Alex stayed focused. Every movement was deliberate, every decision precise. Some alien soldiers saw them and frowned. "Why is the human helping him?" One whispered to another. "He's paralyzed." It's pointless, but Alex ignored them. He knew that in war, courage was measured not by strength alone, but by the choices one made. Saving a life even when others refused was a kind of bravery they could not understand. Kale's breathing grew easier as they moved. Slowly, he realized something he hadn't felt in years. Trust. For the first time, an alien had placed his life completely in the hands of another species, and that species had not failed him. They reached a small shelter, half collapsed, but enough to provide cover. Alex carefully set the stretcher down. "We're safe here for now," he said. "You need rest. Don't move." Kale nodded, still trying to process everything. "You humans, you are strange," he said. We do not abandon one another." "Usually," Alex laughed quietly. "Sometimes even your kind doesn't follow its own rules. That's why I do what I do. Honor isn't about ignoring danger. It's about doing the right thing when it's hard. Kyle watched him, impressed. He had seen honor in battle, but never like this. Humans did not follow the same rigid codes as alien warriors. Their courage came from choices, not fear of shame. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the ruins. Alex worked quickly to stabilize Kale further, using bandages and pieces of alien tech. Every touch was careful, precise. Kale could feel the human's determination. He could feel the human's heart. For the first time, Kale realized that he might survive this. Not because of alien strength or advanced technology, but because of one human soldier's courage. One human soldier who refused to abandon a life, even when everyone else did. As darkness fell, the battlefield quieted further. The cries of wounded faded, leaving only the hum of distant energy and the soft, steady breathing of Kale and Alex. Alex stayed beside him, keeping watch. The world around them was dangerous, but in that moment, hope existed. Kale finally whispered, "Human, I thought no one would come." Alex smiled. "I'm here." "That's enough for now." And in that quiet moment, on a planet torn by war, a human soldier showed that courage and compassion could shine brighter than any weapon, stronger than any armor, and more powerful than any fear. The small shelter offered some safety, but it was not enough. Outside, the battlefield was still dangerous. Rogue drones hovered, scanning for movement. Fires burned in the distance, sending sparks into the night sky. Every sound could mean trouble. Alex Mercer stayed alert, keeping Kale on the makeshift stretcher. The alien warrior's breathing had steadied, but his body remained paralyzed. Kale's sharp eyes studied Alex as he worked quietly to stabilize the alien's limbs. "Human," he said softly, "why do you risk yourself for me? Even now, danger waits." Alex glanced at him, calm and steady. "Because it's the right thing," he said. "Courage isn't just fighting. It's doing what must be done, even if no one else will." Kale remained silent for a moment. Then he spoke with faint respect. "Your kind. Humans, you surprise us. Most of my people would have left me to die." Alex shrugged lightly. "Maybe, but humans don't always follow the easy path. We do what we believe is right, no matter the risk." The night grew colder. Alex wrapped Kyle in a blanket scavenged from their supplies, shielding him from the chill. His own hands moved deftly, checking the alien's injuries. One of Kale's legs was twisted in a way that made any sudden movement dangerous. Alex used fragments of alien armor and metal rods to create a supportive brace, carefully binding it with strips of cloth. "Will I survive?" Kyle asked, his voice weak. Alex met his gaze. "Yes, we'll get you to proper medical care. I promise. You're not alone." Kale's eyes, wide and alert, studied Alex. The alien warrior had faced countless battles, but he had never trusted anyone like this. Yet here was a human, calm in chaos, who risked his own life for another being. Slowly, Kale felt something he hadn't in years: hope. But the dangers of the battlefield were far from over. Outside the shelter, movement caught Alex's eye. Alien patrols, unwounded warriors, were moving through the ruins, searching for survivors and scavenging technology. They hadn't noticed Alex yet, but any wrong move could draw their attention. Alex whispered to Kale, "Stay low. I'll handle this." Using the shadows, Alex peeked outside. He noticed a patrol heading in their direction. Their weapons glowed faintly and they moved quickly, scanning every corner. Alex needed to get Kyle out of here before the patrol discovered them. He glanced at the makeshift stretcher. Carrying Kale over long distances would be dangerous, but he had no choice. Using stealth, Alex lifted the stretcher carefully and began moving toward a safer zone, an abandoned transport bay a short distance away. Every step was slow, deliberate. He avoided loose debris and scanned constantly for movement. Kale watched silently, impressed. "Your patience, it is remarkable," he said. Alex smiled faintly. "Battle teaches you patience, and sometimes it teaches you mercy." The journey was difficult. They had to navigate crumbled buildings, sharp debris, and unstable ground. At one point, a small energy surge from a damaged alien weapon nearly knocked Alex off balance. Kale flinched, but Alex held steady. "Almost there," he said, gripping the stretcher tightly. Hours passed. Alex's squad provided cover when necessary, moving ahead to scout for threats and fend off hostile drones. They coordinated carefully, relying on both human tactics and what they had learned from alien technology. Despite exhaustion, Alex never lost focus. Every decision he made was for Kale's survival. Finally, they reached the transport bay. It was dark, abandoned, but intact. Large alien ships were docked, silent and still. Alex set the stretcher down gently. "We're safe here for now," he said. Kyle exhaled, relief washing over him. "You humans!" "You are not just brave, you are remarkable," Alex laughed quietly. "You'll find humans are like that. Sometimes, bravery comes in many forms." Inside the transport bay, Alex worked quickly. He used parts of the alien ship's wires and metal panels to construct a mobile support unit for Kyle. It was crude, but strong. The unit could hold Kyle securely and allow limited movement while protecting him from further harm. Kyle watched every motion, fascinated. "Your ingenuity, and it is impressive. None of my people would have done this." Alex shook his head. "Ingenuity alone isn't enough. You need heart. Courage to act when no one else will. That's what keeps people alive." As they prepared the unit, a small group of alien soldiers approached. Their eyes were cold, their expressions skeptical. "Why do you protect him?" one demanded. "He is paralyzed. He cannot fight. Leave him." Alex stood tall, unfazed. "I don't leave anyone behind. Not because they are useful, not because they are strong, but because they deserve to live." The aliens stared, unsure. Kale, though weak, spoke up. "Let him do this. He saved me. He is worthy." The alien soldiers hesitated. Their warrior code taught them to value strength above all. Yet here was a human proving that courage and honor could exist outside their rigid rules. Slowly they stepped back, silently acknowledging the human soldier's decision. With the mobile support unit ready, Alex carefully secured Kale inside. "Hold on tight," he said. "We move carefully, but we move fast." Kyle nodded, feeling a strange mix of trust and awe. For the first time, he felt that survival was not just about strength, but about courage, loyalty, and the unexpected kindness of another being. As they rolled the unit through the transport bay and toward a secure medical facility, Kale spoke quietly. "Human, I never imagined that someone from your kind could care so deeply." Alex looked forward, calm and steady. "We do. We just don't always expect recognition. The important thing is doing what's right." Kale considered these words. The battlefield had shown him many forms of strength, but this was different. It was not just physical might. It was bravery, ingenuity, and heart combined. A single human soldier had defied fear, defied expectations, and chosen honor over ease. Outside, the stars shone faintly through the smoke. The ruins of war surrounded them, but for Kale, hope had returned. For Alex, the mission was clear: protect the fallen warrior at all costs. And as the mobile unit moved steadily toward safety, Kyle realized one undeniable truth. Sometimes, humanity could be the strongest force in the universe. The medical facility was quiet, a stark contrast to the battlefield they had left behind. Machines hummed softly, casting pale blue lights across the room. Doctors, both human and alien, worked efficiently, examining Kale and preparing treatments. For the first time since the battle, the alien warrior felt a sense of relief. Alex Mercer stayed close, refusing to leave Kale's side. Even here, the facility was tense. Some alien leaders had heard of Kale's survival in human aid, and they were not pleased. They considered survival through human intervention dishonorable, a breach of their warrior code. But Alex ignored the whispers, focusing solely on Kale's well-being. Kale lay on the medical bed, paralyzed still, but alive. The alien warrior had been through countless battles, seen countless horrors, yet nothing had tested him like this. A human had risked everything to save him, and in doing so had challenged everything Kale believed about strength, honor, and loyalty. "Will I ever walk again?" Kale asked, his voice soft, filled with both hope and fear. Alex examined the alien warrior calmly. "It's possible. Your body is strong. You have survived worse. The treatments here will help, and so will your determination, but you won't get there alone. You need to trust the help you have." Kyle considered this, nodding slowly. It was strange to admit. He had never relied on anyone completely, not even his fellow warriors. Yet Alex had shown him that trust could save a life. Days passed. Kale's condition gradually improved under the care of the medical team. He regained some sensation in his legs and arms. He could move his fingers slightly and lift his head without help. Alex remained at his side, offering encouragement, adjusting support equipment and keeping watch for any danger. During this time, Cale reflected on everything that had happened. He remembered the battlefield, the smoke, the sounds of dying warriors, and the paralyzed fear in his own mind. And he remembered Alex, the human who had not hesitated, who had created makeshift equipment, who had protected him from both danger and despair. One morning, as the sun filtered through the facility windows, Cale sat up with difficulty. Alex helped him, steadying the alien warrior. "You're stronger than you think," Alex said. "Every day you're getting better. Don't give up." Cale's eyes shone with gratitude. "Human, I owe you my life. Your courage, your honor, it is beyond words. I have seen many warriors, but none like you." Alex shook his head. "Don't thank me yet. The important part isn't what I did, it's what comes next. You need to recover, and the others, they need to learn something too." Cale frowned slightly. "The council, they will not be pleased. Some may say I brought shame upon us by surviving through human aid." Alex smiled gently. "Then it's up to you to show them that courage and honor can take many forms. Sometimes surviving is the bravest thing you can do." When Cale was stable enough to travel, the alien council requested his presence. They were skeptical, some even angry that a human had intervened. The council chamber was enormous, with high ceilings and walls etched with the stories of past warriors. Elder aliens sat in judgment, their expressions stern. Cale was brought in, supported by the mobile unit Alex had constructed. Whispers filled the chamber. Some questioned the human's interference, others were curious. Cale looked around at the council, then at Alex, who stood silently by his side. One elder spoke first. "Cale, you survived, against all odds. But your survival, it came through a human. How do you defend this?" Cale took a deep breath, feeling strength he hadn't felt in years. "I survived because one human soldier, Alex Mercer, chose courage over fear, compassion over pride. He risked his life for mine when no one else would. That is honor. That is strength. Not all courage comes from following codes. Some comes from making the right choice when it is hard." The council remained silent for a moment. The words were not what they expected. Cale continued, "I was paralyzed. I could not fight. But the human believed in my life. He proved that honor is not just strength. It is action. It is heart. And I will not forget it." The elder leader leaned forward, studying Alex. "You human risked much. Why?" Alex stepped forward calmly. "Because life is valuable regardless of species. Courage is measured not by your weapons or your strength, but by your choices. I chose to act because it was right. Cale's life mattered. I did not consider rank or species, only what was just." A ripple of murmurs passed through the council. Some elders nodded, recognizing the truth in his words. Others frowned, unwilling to admit that their rigid codes had been challenged. Kyle looked at Alex with deep respect. "You have shown us a new way. I will carry this lesson, not only in my recovery but in the hearts of all who fight." The council deliberated, and after hours of discussion, a decision was made. They would honor Alex's courage, acknowledging that his actions had not only saved Cale's life but had demonstrated a form of strength they had never considered. "You, human," the elder leader declared, "have proven that bravery is not limited to your kind. Your actions have reminded us that honor can exist outside our codes, and that sometimes the right choice is the hardest one." Alex nodded quietly, accepting their recognition, though he had never sought it. Cale, finally standing with assistance, looked stronger than he had since the battle. The alien warrior understood that survival and courage were intertwined, but it was the heart behind the action that truly mattered. As they left the council chamber, Cale turned to Alex. I thought no one would help me. I was wrong. Humanity, your kind, has shown me what true courage is." Alex smiled. "Sometimes it takes one life to remind many of the meaning of honor. You survived, and now your people will remember it too." Outside, the sky was bright with stars. The war-torn planet still held danger, but for Cale, hope had returned. And for the alien council, the lesson was clear. Courage and compassion could come from anywhere, even from a human soldier. Cale took a tentative step, testing his strength. Then another. He smiled, weak but determined. Alex stood beside him, ready to support, but proud to see the warrior moving again. In that moment, Cale understood a truth he would carry forever. Strength alone does not define a warrior. Courage, heart, and the willingness to act for what is right. These make someone truly extraordinary. And Alex Mercer, the human soldier who refused to leave a life behind, had proven it to an entire species.